Alright everyone, just a few quick updates. Update number 1. The new due date is September 15th at 7:45 a.m. This means you have your presentation of your proposal ready to go in your hands long before entering class on the 15th. Number 1, and that's highly important, make sure this occurs so that we can get through and look at everybody's suggestions for the build. Number 2, everyone needs to have an orthographic drawing. That's orthographic. An orthographic drawing is a 3-view drawing, which usually shows the top of an object, the front of an object, and the side. For example, let's say we have a raised garden bed, and the raised garden bed may look like this from the top, and you can see the hole where the dirt will go into it and your sidewalls. And from the front, all you would see would be the length and overall depth of your box. And then you would have generally, and sometimes it's necessary to do more than one of these. Like this is a right side view. You may need a left side view if you have details you're working with. But these also would have hidden lines that correspond with the hole to show that the dirt goes all the way to the ground level. Same way over here, these lines would transfer over and they would show the depth of the hole. Plus that would also show you the thickness of your walls. Example, I might write a 6-inch here because my walls are 6-inch thick. I can also do that on other spaces in the drawing, like up here, to show that it's 6-inch thick this way as well as this way, and know that that's a uniform build. Beyond that, on the orthographic drawing, and it's highly, highly important, would be like my length. Let's say this is a 12-foot long build. Let's say it's 24 inches or 2 feet deep. And let's say that it's maybe 3 feet wide, which I could put here. More commonly, the 3 foot would be put here. And just by knowing what you drew, that transfers back up. This way, whoever's doing your budget can estimate the volume of materials needed. They can also estimate, like this is a 3 foot by 12 foot footprint, and where that might come in handy is if you know it's 3 feet by 12 feet, then I also know I'm going to need a rubble trench or a foundation that is 12 feet wide, 12 feet length, 3 feet wide, and then if this is my ground level, ground, and I know that this is going to go 18 inches deep to support the weight of my build, then I could estimate that I need 36 times 18 inches, which is 1.5 feet, or I need 54 cubic feet, of gravel. This, to fill this hole full of gravel so that the bench will set on top of it. Now in the garden, no. A bench, yes. But either way, you can ask questions on that. Remember, that's orthographic. You will also need a well-drawn, highly depictive 2-point or isometric drawing. Isometric is more of an engineering term. Isometric, more CAD, more technical illustration. 2-point is more of an art. 2-point perspective is more of an artistic term. They're pretty similar. What they are is they both allow for you to draw a 3-dimensional depiction of your object. In isometric, it's more uniform. In other words, you use specific angles to draw. Like this would be, a 30-degree angle. This would be a 30-degree angle. And then you would draw your shape that fits your garden box all precise, whereas a 2-point perspective would be more for, out here's my finishing point, and maybe out here's my finishing point, and these lines, instead of them all being exact and tangent to and 90 degrees and things of that nature, more they would be based on, I'm drawing the same box, but I draw it the way my eye sees it. So these points would all lead this way, and these points would all lead this way, so that when I saw my garden box, you notice this is smaller here and smaller here now, not the same height. And this would trail this way, which make that, makes it look more realistic. So this one would probably be best for presenting. However, the orthographic may be better for showing specific details. Either way, whenever you do this, make sure that anything that's included on your bench or your raised bed or whatever you're working with is also included in this drawing, because this is the one your audience will see and say, ooh, pretty, that, pretty, functional, that's what I'd love to see out there. So don't forget that. 3 things, just to recap: September 15th, when you walk in the door. Orthographic drawing, so that you have a way of measuring the materials you need by volume and space. Isometric and or 2-point perspective, so that you have something to sell to your crowd. This has to be beautiful. It's going to take some time, but if I see this, I should be able to see what you're going to build. All details, maybe color pencil, everything. You might want to look at some artistic elevations, architectural elevations, some 2-point perspective drawings, and kind of get the idea of what I'm saying. Make use of YouTube. There's plenty of tutorials out there to do that. Make use of Dr. Fisher, because he surely knows how to help you do this. If you're having a problem with orthographic projection, come see me, or look it up on YouTube. But these things must be included in your drawing and your design. Thank you, and we'll see you in class.